Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition of The Silence of the Lambs. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, The Silence of the Lambs is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Kino Lorber. It comes in a standard slipcover edition, which is available at Best Buy and your online retailers. Now, as far as the film itself goes, I've had a long history with this movie. I have read the books. I'm a big fan of the whole mythology. I've seen the TV series by Brian Fuller, Hannibal. Mads Mikkelsen doing Hannibal Lecter is awesome, but as far as cinematic goes, I think Anthony Hopkins does the best Hannibal Lecter. And of course, we have Jodie Foster starring in this one as Clarice Starling. This movie's great. It's very dark by nature, of course. That's just the way the source material was. But it's still filmed in a way that's very compelling, dramatic, and intense. I mean, there's so many great story elements in this one that I just love. And I go back to it at least once a year, maybe twice. And I think it's kind of like one of those perfect thrillers. And of course, it is the movie that really, I would say gave Anthony Hopkins more visibility to modern audiences. So I think this one just really works on pretty much every level. It's got great direction, acting, and it has all the bells and whistles that you really expect in a Hannibal Lecter story. It's awesome. Okay, we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio in just a moment, but first, let's do a quick unboxing. Okay, we have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray slipcover edition of The Silence of the Lambs here, which, if I'm not mistaken, I'm using an amalgamation of two different covers to get both Hopkins and Foster on it. So yeah, there you go. It still looks nice though. And then we have the back and the spine, interior, and this, of course, being a Kino Lorber release, just basic disc art. All right, now it's time to talk about the picture quality and the audio. The Silence of the Lambs on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 185:1 aspect ratio, native 4K resolution with HDR10 and Dolby Vision for the grading. For purposes of this review, I will be discussing the Dolby Vision encode. Now, for the general look of the film, grain is rendered appropriately. It doesn't seem too heavy-handed or unnaturally blotchy, so I think if you're a grain lover, you're going to enjoy what you see. It's very cinematic in that regard. While there is a lot of good I want to talk about with this 4K disc, there is something I did notice in the first 20 or so minutes of the movie that gave me a little bit of concern. I noticed, especially in the opening credits scene, that colors in general, the color space looked very washed out. Almost to the point where Foster's character, after running the obstacle course, looks almost grayish in her skin tones. And if you look at Crawford's vest, the yellow, it's very muted. So I did an A and B comparison with the Blu-ray edition included with the disc, and as you can see, colors look very natural here. They actually look very bold. And it's just something that was only within the first 20 minutes or so, and I also noticed it during Hannibal Lecter's first appearance. If you look at the close-up shot here, you can see it looks a little off, but then if you go to the Blu-ray edition, it looks very natural and warm. Once again, this only appears to be the case in the first 20 or so minutes of the film, and the rest of the movie actually looks very good when it comes to the color palette. There's a good bit of enhancement there. Skin tones, they look natural for the most part, and I also noticed some good vibrancy on occasion when Clarice is during the training exercise, and you get the red lighting effect. I think it's very striking in that particular instance. And I would say clothing also looks very good. Landscaping also stands out very nicely. And overall, color palette, aside from the first 20 minutes, is very well rendered here on 4K. Black levels are prominent and deep throughout the film. There's a lot of great instances where it just looks very good when Hannibal's sitting in a cell and he's partially obscured by the shadows. And of course, when you have Buffalo Bill's lair in the dark pit, it really looks good here. No issues with compression artifacting or anything like that. Shadow detail is also on point and looks very well done. There's a generous enhancement to overall detail and the look of the film. I think it looks great, especially close-up shots of, let's say, Hannibal, for instance, and anything like that with skin texture really look good. You can see the imperfections in the skin very well. And clothing also benefits here. Mid-level and close-up shots of general landscaping and architecture also are really well rendered. The Silence of the Lambs on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a DTS 5.1 audio presentation. From what I can determine, it's a very similar track ported over from the existing Blu-ray. The film is very front-heavy by nature. There isn't a whole lot of immersive surround sound activity, but it is very clean in the listening experience and free from any kind of imperfections in the audio source. Dialogue is handled through the center channel very clean and clear, so when you get those intense conversations between Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling, it's very easy to understand what's being said. And the front speakers, they handle a lot of the activity on screen and they complement the center channel nicely. And the rear speakers, there isn't a whole lot of surround sound activity. It's mostly relegated to musical moments, occasional ambient effects and that sort of thing, but it's not terribly immersive, but you will notice it from time to time. And the LFE channel, it's subtle, it's good, it's not overly aggressive. I feel it's pretty appropriate for the type of film that it is. For the picture quality, I'm going to give The Silence of the Lambs on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a B. Thankfully, the first 20 minutes are not indicative of what you can expect here with this 4K presentation. I can honestly see it being a deal breaker for some fans of the movie, but those that choose to stick it out after that time period, colors are very natural and bold, black levels are extremely deep, and you get the extra bit of detail enhancements. Overall, it's a mixed bag of a presentation, but when it works, it definitely does here. For the audio presentation, I'm going to give this one a B+. The DTS 5.1 is a very serviceable audio track. Everything up front sounds very good and clean, and the surround sound activity is sporadically active. There's a good amount of energy to the overall film, and I think you'll be very pleased with the results. So that is my review of The Silence of the Lambs on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking this up for yourself, I will leave an Amazon link in the comment section below. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.